Initiating match. Ready for battle.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective. Stay put.
Just to warn you, I don't have a lot of experience healing people who fly.
Just hit me in midair. How hard could it be?
Think you can keep up?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Easy on him.
The objective is
Looks like Mizzou is the first to take the point here, pushing SIUC back. That Ramontra and that Bastion is putting on so much damage for SIUC. Not really sure how to push this. Still even, no one has died just yet.
We're having trouble holding any charge here on the Zarya.
Huge pick for that Bastion, but the Ramontra just kills that Pharah. Huge res in the Pharah. This could be turning for SIUC.
SIU's got a 5v4 here, hoping they can take this point. Mizzou up 35%.
In the far POV. Unfortunately, Theorem does get picked by that Reaper, and Reaper gets also the Pharah and the Mercy. SIUC is crumbling under the force of the Mizzou Brawl comp. Coming back quickly though, 50-0 in favor of Mizzou. Going on to SIUC's Zarya here. He's trying his best.
Looper here, setting up for an ultimate once again. Move forward.
Lots of ults being popped out. Mizzou just absolutely walking on SIUC. This is not what you want to have happen on this on Control Center Lijiang Tower. These choke points are vital to have, and Mizzou is just holding on to them with an iron fist. SIUC
Null making
coming
his
up.
way upstairs with the visor. Maybe looking for a cheeky pick here. Pops the visor.
Big visor. Unfortunately, Lufer does get a 3K on SIUC. I mean, unfortunately, they had a bunch of ults, and none of them just really connected. Mizzou will be taking second point, Lijiang Tower. Very quick.
100-0. Huge difference from this first map we saw.
Mizzou just had that brawl comp that SIUC they couldn't really respond with it very well. That Reaper and that Bastion just output so much damage, on top of that Ramatra just being a force and a damage sponge. It's like Mizzou is going back to that Symmetra here. Probably going to TP quick to point to get that early setup.
Probably going to be giving them an early advantage on this point. SIU switching to the Orisa and the Junkrat. Maybe hoping to get a bit more damage in against this brawl.
SIUC's Pharah jumping high in the sky, seeing if he can't get any early picks. Looks like Mizzou is deciding to go around, of possibly avoiding that early environmental kill. So far, SIUC does take control of the point. Huge boop from Jack the Cool onto that Ramatra. This is a free fight win for SIUC. No team can win any fight without their tank. It is such a crucial role to have.
Mizzou instantly switches to the Zarya up against a Junkrat and a Pharah. This could be extremely problematic.
Absolutely, and on top of that, SIUC's tank is playing Orisa, which the Zarya pick is absolutely deadly to that Zarya. Sneaky shot, getting a pick on Jack the Cool. Does get rid of the Mercy, however.
Instant res. Mizzou continues to push this bridge, but Null finding a quick pick on that Reaper.
That'll be absolutely huge for the integrity of this fight for SIUC. As they just are playing really slow, Mizzou is not really advancing too far into SIUC. That Orisa just being an impressive force.
SIU has managed to stay one man up this entire control point so far, and it's really showing 50% on the board with really no contest from Mizzou so far. Stark contrast to that second point.
Yeah, this is definitely a much more even match. Jack the Cool gets to pick up that soldier. It'll be absolutely huge for this fight. Mizzou just too scared to push. I mean, SIUC has got a lot of poke damage. Even with that Zarya, they just can't seem to get a pick.
Looking at 4 ultimates open on SIU, I'm wondering if we're going to see any of them popped here.
The Mizzou Sim keeping on the point along with the Zarya, the team falling behind.
The
A
Junkrat
from
tire
SIUC.
comes out. A
Huge
tree,
tire.
but that doesn't stop the damage.
SIUC holding on. Mizzou is down 2 players. Orisa pop from SIUC. We're in last fight territory here. Can Mizzou hold on, or is SIUC going to take this one in the books? Huge 2K from Mizzou. Although SIUC takes it for the win, Mizzou just unable to hold that point.
SIU now up 1-0 in the series. Really a back and forth match there with the control points. I mean, it was slightly, it was pretty even on the first one, but then, you know, Mizzou just completely rolled
Absolutely,
the second point, and then the same thing but for SIU on that third.
So far, it's looking like a clean start to this this battle here of the 2 Titans in Navigator's division. We'll be right back when we come back and select a new map. Well, we have all spec, it doesn't matter. So we're good. Alright. SIUC and Bazoo back on hybrid map. SIUC starting off on defense, gonna try and hold Bazoo and see if they can't get that quick turnover. Waiting in here as both teams decide their comps for the match.
I'm interested to see if Mizzou starts with yet another rush comp. They seem to work on the control center, and they can be quite powerful on hybrid maps.
Ready for
Looks like SIUC is sticking with that poke comp. Pyro on the Sigma now, and Null on the Bastion. Jetical still on that Pharah. It's going to be very interesting, but Mizzou looks to be sticking to their rush comp that did work on point 2 of Lijiang Tower.
Research is effective research.
Hello.
Alright, 10 seconds before the match starts. SIUC looking to be holding top high ground.
5,
Trying to get an off angle and a little surprise.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Mizzou taking the back way into the point, trying to get a sneaky little positioning advantage coming in under this bridge. But Pyro notices immediately though, as this is a classic strat used by SIUC.
It looks like the strat did not catch SIUC off guard, as they have seen it before. Mizzou, Ramatra pushing in far, pushing it hard, trying to make that space for Mizzou to get an early pick on SIUC.
Pyro in this front line holding back Mizzou as his DPS players support him from behind.
Mizzou's Bastion.
No space really being taken. Mizzou walking past but separating the team, splitting themselves in half here.
Mizzou on point. This is where the big fight comes to deciding. Ramatra getting a huge pick on Theorem. One sport down. Pyro is now down off the fight. Looks like Mizzou is just gonna clean up here. All they have is the Pharah and that Mercy. Winchester does res the Bastion, however, Jeticool does get taken out by Sneak Shot. And Lufer finishing off Null, which is SIUC's Mercy. Winchester defend for herself.
This rush comp is pretty huge, walking straight past the poke and just taking point, not even caring to look at SIUC until they're already starting to cap.
That is one of the big benefits to rush comp. It just pushes straight past the mass output of damage that poke has. Just if you run past it, they can't do much about it.
There's just so much sustain right now in this Mizzou comp, as Ramatra can just walk up with basically 2 health bars and then get life gripped by the Life Weaver.
Jeticool getting a huge pick on that Bastion. Mizzou's Bastion does get rezzed by Rhea, their Mercy.
And we get
Lufer.
a cancelled Reaper ult.
SIUC holding on. Mizzou is coming up behind SIUC. Doesn't look like they even know. Pyro knocks off their Ramatra off high ground and creating space. Lufer alone defend for himself against Pyro. Mizzou is still getting cart progress, and SIUC just letting him have it.
The cart goes right underneath him. No one seems to be walking down. Jack the Cool going to try to stop the cart, but being knocked off by that Reaper.
Both teams even down one of their DPS. It's still an even fight. Looks like SIUC is trying to hold on. Mizzou popping their Ramatra ult, pushing a Tree of Life and a Risa ult from SIUC, causing them to pull back. Both ults not really getting any
The
traction.
Annihilation is still active though. This ult lasts forever if there's someone inside of it.
More ults being popped. Still, nothing really going on. Null does get the pick on the Mizzou's Rhea. Not really much happening here at this fight. Ramatra
Null does get taken down by Ramatra, but gonna be rezzed here by Winchester.
SIUC holding on. Mizzou is getting really close to capping this second point. SIUC holding on though, picking them off their back line little by little.
This
Mizzou.
fight so far seems to be Bastion pick after Bastion pick.
These fights just decided on whoever can get that Bastion first, and right now Mizzou is up against SIUC. The sheer amount of damage. Pyro coming out with that ult on their supports. Doesn't really get anything. Jetticool gets a pick off that Lifeweaver. Now deciding to duel the Bastion.
Lufer in the backline with the ult ready to go. It looks like they're gonna pop it soon. No, they die. The payload is on the doorstep of this second point.
SIUC coming in clutch with 1.44 meters until that second point capture. That was very close. Some game altering kills there from SIUC, pausing their progress finally after a long push.
SIU really didn't touch this payload until it was almost to the point, and then they just held there.
Yeah, SIUC is looking to play more passive than aggressive. They just really aren't making any advances like Mizzou is with the rush comp. Massive ult from Null, but it doesn't really seem to connect with anyone. Jetticool making some pop shots to the Bastion. Sneaky shot, popping his ult. Nothing connects either. Lufer pushing his payload. Trying to back cap, but thankfully Pyro does see him. Lufer looks like going for the back. Pops an ult. Does get Theorem down. However, to get the trade. 1.17 meters. This is very close.
SIU, though, cleaning up this fight once again at the doorstep.
60 seconds.
They are just proving time and time again the sustainability of the Lifeweaver Mercy and Orisa. I mean, even when it looks like they're down a support or a DPS, they just somehow hold on against the Mizzou rush comp.
Both teams are going to be looking at 3 ults this fight. See whether or not Mizzou can get it past this choke point.
Mizzou taking the high ground, see if they can get an early pick. Pushing up. SIUC holding that tight corner, trying not to get themselves picked off early. We do see the Bastion turret coming out. Not really doing any favors for Mizzou here. We're coming into Latfly's territory.
10 seconds remaining.
Huge pick from Jetticool.
All of the ults being popped right now. But
It is an
2
absolute
life
color
trees
fest.
and an annihilation.
And a Romacho on the island. Just a Romacho left for Mizzou. Can SIUC hold on? He does touch, proccing the overtime once again, but it's 3v1. Can Mizzou hold on there until his team comes back?
Like Mojo's gonna be taken down here, but Sneaky's back on the point.
And SIUC does win the first round with 1 point going to Mizzou.
Score 0-1.
Swapping sides here, it does look like that their bunker comp did work out in the end, despite giving Mizzou so much space. They held on at the very end.
I'm interested to see how SIU plays here now. The poke isn't nearly as effective on attack as it is on defense here.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what comps teams pull out. If Mizzou will keep running their rush comp, which does work, but they just can't seem to keep the fight going.
Ready for battle.
Looks like Mizzou is actually pulling out their poke comp here, with the Symmetra trying to create a car wash under the subway for SIUC to cross through.
We're seeing the Far Mercy once again. Null onto the Junkrat now. Going to be outputting quite a bit of splash damage this round.
It'll be very interesting. That Sigma can absorb a lot of that damage and make sure his team is safe, but at this point, the Junkrat is just going to be putting out so much damage. I don't know if the Sigma can suck it all up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers.
All right, SIUC looking like they're going main. trying to just go ahead and brute force their way through this chokehold here. Jack to Cool jumping up above, trying to get an early pick. Absolutely beating on their back line. Sticky shot does pop turret, making them back off.
Tactical coming over the top to deal quite a bit of splash damage on these supports, but no picks have happened just yet.
Just as we thought, Sticky shot does get the pick off a no. Honestly, it's a big pick for Mizzou, trying to get their damage down for SIUC. Sticky shot getting Theorem. SIUC got to back off here and regroup. Not much traction happening on here. SIUC keeps trying to poke, but Mizzou does have that bunker comp just tight and locked
SIU
down.
has a very squishy team right now, especially against the Bastion, but onto the Zarya now. Pyro is just walking straight forward, getting as much charge from those turrets as possible.
Mizzou backing off a little bit, kind of intimidated by that Reaper. Pyro pushing forward, pushing them back even further. Jack to Cool, playing it safe. Oh, big ult from Jack to Cool. Gets one, but Rhea does get Jack to Cool. Rhea also getting the Reaper. Lots of ults being used here during this fight. Pretty even so far. SIUC is down 1 DPS. Make that a support as well. Lufer going down to Pyro, and Jack to Cool getting the Life Weaver down. This fight is a close one. Ults coming out left and right. Sigma using his ult. This is
SIU
Sigma.
finally finding the picks here and having control of the point.
SIUC, yeah. Thankfully, they do get this first point here.
It doesn't look like Mizzou's going to contest.
They took it a lot slower than Mizzou did, leaving them with not much time to push to onto this bridge here. Mizzou looking like they're holding close rather than up on top of that bridge, probably hoping to stop any quick advances. Jack the Cool getting absolutely decimated by Lufer on the Symmetra here.
Instantly res though.
That Mercy is coming in clutch with a lot of these reses here, keeping it alive for SIUC. Sim wall out, and grab, and window. Bastional, I mean his old city out here. Mizzou finally falling to SIUC after a long fight. Lots of ults were used. Mizzou, no ults remaining, but SIUC does have their Pharah ult as well as Mercy ult coming up here soon. Mizzou swapping to
Mizzou
that soldier.
switching to the Soldier and the Sojourn, realizing that this Pharah has kind of been a problem.
SIUC has made it under the bridge. Jets Cool gets a huge pick at the soldier. Pushing through. Mizzou is down 1. Ult's
The
coming out.
bubble into the Pharah ultimate is gonna basically end this fight.
This is last fight. All that's left is the motor out here. Can Mizzou touch? Here comes Soldier trying to get that last minute touch. SIUC just seconds away from winning this next match here. And SIUC takes it.
It's a huge hold from SIUC on that first half of the map, letting Mizzou gain a ton of ground, but then holding in a spot where they knew they had that advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. SIUC just... I thought they were giving them way too much space here, but it was actually all part of their plan. They knew that they could hold on to that very last second, and winning that fight under the bridge allowed them the space and the momentum to just finish them off nice and quick. SIUC up 2 points, Mizzou 0. We'll be right back on the next map.
And we're back, heading to Servasa for the third map of this series. SIU at a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Flashpoint being one of those maps that is completely momentum-based. Mizzou does seem to have that momentum, but SIUC tends to clutch it up in the end with their immense sustain. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
Ready for battle.
SIUC still running the same bunker comp, the Orisa and the Far Mercy. It's just been working out so well for them. I mean, if it works, don't change it.
Mizzou switching it up a bit here. We're seeing an Alari, and quite a fan of that pick. Probably my favorite support. Also the Diva. Switching it up a bit, but looks like they're still just going to be rushing in.
Going in here. This Mizzou comp is definitely going to be interesting. We got a lot of damage going on that far. The Diva, as well as that BAP and Alari, pose huge threats to that Far's life. So far, SIUC just poking at Mizzou. Does demech the Diva. Huge pick from SIUC. Without that Diva, they can't really do anything. Pyro getting that finishing kill on that Diva.
Mizzou's down a tank in this fight, and it looks like SIU is going to have a quick cleanup here as they take control of this first point.
They are absolutely walking on Mizzou.
Chasing these supports.
They are committing, that is for sure. I mean, the staggers are a big part of Flashpoint, getting that momentum up.
Mizzou straight onto the Zarya, hoping to counterpick this Orisa. Let's see how it works out for him.
Mizzou regrouping. Looks like they're gonna push the main side of this first point here. Far, just laying down the damage, making it hard for them to push past that choke point.
This Zarya is fully charged by Pyro's Orisa.
That's cool. That's gonna pick up one of the supports. That is absolutely huge for SIUC to keep this point going. We're entering last fight territory here. SIUC still up. Mizzou taking lots of damage. Not even close to the point. I think they're trying to get this one up.
Looks like Mizzou's going to be falling back, letting SIU have this one, trying to group up for the second fight. But Pyro's following them towards the door. Maybe overextending just a little bit here.
No,
But
popping that
he's got his
roll.
supports behind him.
Not really getting any value. Oh, he does get sneaky shot. Big pick, causing just one down for Mizzou. Not really much going on here. Kind of a stalemate in terms of fights.
The team's fighting over this first point still, slowly making their way to the second.
SIUC gonna be a first point once again. Mizzou just right behind him.
Jack the Cool holding from the top.
Pyro just being an absolutely force to reckon with. I mean, he is unmovable. He has not died at all this game, and he's just, you know, continuing to show that he is a force that cannot be stopped. Just so you see, already up to 30% on the second point here. Mizzou not even close to touching that point. However, we're coming up on lots of ults. Lufer does get two. Stopped by Pyro. Pyro does eat the grab from the Zarya. Can he work with this? Can he keep the fight? It looks like SIUC is going to clean him up. Just as supports left.
4 ults traded here. SIU will take this fight, and it's going to be difficult for Mizzou to get back and contest this point. 75% already up, and a huge stagger as PMT gets sent back to the spawn.
SIUC holding on. Looks like they're coming on to last fight once again. If Mizzou can't get close, they're going to lose this fight.
Doesn't look like Mizzou's going to touch this one. Maybe hoping for a quick sprint to the other point, take it before SIU gets the chance.
Does look like the next point is in favor of Mizzou. Both teams rushing to this next point. Mizzou looks like they're gonna be the first ones here.
But the point doesn't unlock for another 15 seconds, so it looks like there's gonna be a fight for who takes control of this one.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Pyro walking in there, being that big tank that he is, absorbing that damage for his team. Mizzou on the high ground, hoping to get an early pick, use that cover, not be so vulnerable. Window pops for
That
SIUC.
window being popped, but we also see Sojourn ulting as well.
Sneaky shot, pops the theorem, getting him out. That's cool. Getting that Sojourn out of the fight. So far, SIUC is down 2, while Mizzou is only down 1. SIUC does take the point, though. Mizzou's just not really pushing on him.
Rhea pops the BAP window,
Killing Pyro.
and Jack the Cool has the ultimate again, taking down Rhea.
That's the cool, just cleaning up Mizzou here. I mean, it was a 2v3, and That's Cool is just proving to be that force in the sky.
Mizzou's really having trouble dealing with this Pharah Mercy. They just can't seem to confirm a kill on either Jack the Cool or Winchester.
Sneaky shot does get that pick on that Mercy, but it was just not enough to keep the switch going. SIUC taking it back at 50%, and Mizzou having to regroup. Looks like Mizzou Sojourn taking that high ground along with that Reaper, trying to get Null off the high ground. Mizzou looks a little confused, not really sure how to push this into SIUC's massive hold. Getting the last fight territory once again. SIUC just holding on to that point. Mizzou having to touch. If they have to touch this, if they don't, the game will be over. So
Most of Mizzou is low already, but we see the Reaper ult coming out, not confirming a kill.
Pyro does get that ult down, but charging that Zarya full, that is utterly dangerous to Pyro. Lufer getting 2, but Jack Cool confirming that kill on Lufer and Rhea. Mizzou 2 to 4 down.
And it looks like SIU is going to be cleaning this one up as Mizzou retreats off the point, even though it was the last one.
SIUC getting that 3-0 against Mizzou. And I'm pretty sure that's the match.
Yeah.
A clean 3-0 from SIUC. Despite Mizzou's impressive rush comp, it just wasn't enough for that bunker comp and that Pharah Mercy. It was devastating Answer Sports.
And I mean, really, this entire map was just Pyro walking forward and not even having to worry about his health bar. I mean, he just continued to depend on his supports and just keep pressing that entire Mizzou team back while Jack the Cool and Null dealt all that damage.
Well, GG's to Mizzou. SIUC won a clean sweep 3-0.